Hello, good morning.
Hey.
Curt and Jen in the Morning podcast. Thank you for listening,
Yes,
watching, doing all the things. We appreciate your support so much.
we appreciate it. Thanks for being here today and every day. And if you are so inclined, we would love it if you could like or follow or support or what are the other things? Anyway, whatever you could do to say, hey, we like this program would be appreciated. How's that?
That's a good one, Curt. I like it a lot.
Okay. Jen is
Uh,
still remote today.
I am still in Manson, Washington, on the beautiful shores of Lake Chelan. I feel very spoiled right
Mhm.
now. And we're in Pat's RV, his motorhome. We drove it over the pass and we're staying with one of his friends. We stay in the motorhome. His friend has this awesome house with this awesome view, and it's
Sure.
amazing. And it's one of my favorite places. I love Manson so much. It's just past Lake Chelan, and it's just cute, quaint little town. Curt, you would love it so much.
Sure. Okay. Well, looking forward to going sometime. And then we got it. We also got to hit the dunes and I know I don't want to call it a dune buggy, but that's essentially what the side by sides are.
A little
A
bit like
really,
that.
really cool dune.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Uh,
Um, Tell me about you have something about cuts and bruises in your truck, and tell me all the
yeah.
things.
Well, you were doing the exciting things yesterday. What you were chilling out and hanging there by the in lovely Manson. I was
Boating. I was boating, Curt.
awesome. Okay, you were boating. I was just being a good house husband and doing stuff around the house. And for some reason, I always end up with bleeding somewhere.
Oh
You know,
my
I don't
gosh,
know.
what?
Well, I was out in the garage and I was working with some hand tools, so there was definitely the opportunity for that to happen. I just never noticed it until I come in and Dana's like, "Hey, why are you bleeding from your eyeball or whatever it is?" It wasn't the eyeball, so I'm not sure these mysterious cuts and bruises, but if it makes me look more, like a tough guy, I'm all for it. Can I
Oh,
pull off tough guy? I don't think I
no, you
can.
cannot.
Well, okay. I was hoping I had a shot at tough guy there. And then I just wanted to say, and this is a conversation I'm having with myself and my truck. Are you ready?
Yes.
Uh, I just was driving yesterday. Is this? I've had this F-150 since 2016, and I just wanted to thank my truck for being awesome and always being there and always starting and always, I mean, I've never had any issues with it whatsoever, which now is going to change since I said that. Um, but it's just a great truck, and I don't think our vehicles get enough credit sometimes for how helpful they are. So there you go. Thank
I
you,
I
Howard
think
the
that's
truck.
one of the things that we take for granted many times, right? You buy a car and it runs great, and then
Hmm.
and you say nothing about it until it doesn't.
And then curses. You go with a lot of your FFSs, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do. All right. Fourth of
Do people
July
know
is
what FFS, by the
tomorrow.
way?
I can't believe the Fourth of
It
July
is.
is tomorrow. Curt and I, just so you know, Curt and I will not be recording on the holiday, and we will not be recording on the day after, because we believe that both those days should be a holiday because you're up late on the 4th of
Yes.
July.
Hopefully up late on all the days, having a nice party weekend. So yeah, we'll be back on Monday. But in the meantime, there are plenty of awesome Fourth of July things to do right around our neck of the woods. I'll go through a few of them. Or
Yeah.
actually, you can join on this as well because you've been to them. But of course, tomorrow, so the whole deal goes from 3 in the afternoon until 11 tomorrow night. The Seafair Fourth of July in Seattle is at Gasworks Park as always. And if you didn't know this, it is of course free to everyone, but you can also get reserved seats for around $50.
There's a way to make a buck. We will figure it out. That's how that goes in Seattle.
Yes,
uh Tacoma. So
right.
so the Seafair 4th of July in Seattle is huge. Also is the one in Tacoma. It's the July Summer
Yeah.
Blast. That's on the Ruston Way waterfront. So you go there. There's lots of things going on the whole day from noon to 10:30. And then Everett, of course, they have a parade. They have fireworks or no fireworks in Everett? I don't think they do.
All that it says here doesn't say anything about fireworks. Well, they have to. Doesn't it all wrap up with fireworks? The
For
115th year parade in Everett. It goes through downtown Everett, starting at 25th, ending at Colby Avenue. It doesn't say anything about fireworks.
when I have to, I don't know if this is on your list of communities. Like there's so many communities that have parades. Like I know that Bothell has a parade. I know that when I was little, my mom brought me to the Edmonds parade. So I'm sure that there's probably something
Right.
happening in your town, but the big fireworks shows, the one that we didn't mention yet, Auburn is also a big one.
Mhm.
There's a whole festival there.
Huge. Yeah.
That's 11 to 4 p.m. So there's bigger festivals, there's smaller community festivals, and check if your community is doing fireworks, but the big ones are Seattle and Tacoma for sure. For sure, for sure.
There you go. Options for everyone. Now, as we joke about here in the PNW, summer doesn't really actually start until the day after 4th of July. So the 5th of July, after so many years of bad weather for, and rain and drizzle for the actual fireworks on the 4th. Well, this year, not only is it going to be sunny straight through all week and pretty much cloud free, which would be great for the fireworks displays tomorrow, but by the weekend, downright hot, Jen. Downright hot.
I mean, seriously, if you don't have air conditioning, I'm telling you right now, you're going to complain because the forecast as it stands right now in the Seattle area, you guys are getting so much sunshine. This is like on the east side of the state for real. So what you've got
Yeah.
75 and maybe a little bit of clouds today, and then full sunshines for the foreseeable future. And the highs range from the low 80s to the mid 90s
Hmm.
over the weekend.
Yep. So it's going to be a constant rise, starting like the high is 82 tomorrow, then 85 on Friday, 88 on Saturday, 94 on Sunday, then a bit of a cooling trend back down to 89 for Monday. But
A cooling
as
trend.
yeah, that's like a freeze. But I think a lot of people outside of the area don't realize that many people in Seattle is very temperate. It doesn't usually get, getting up to above 90 is more common now than it used to be. But it used to be, you could pretty much count on summertime temps, 85, 86, 87. In the winter, it rarely got below freezing. So
Here's
the end of that story is a lot of people don't have air conditioning because it wasn't necessary.
the bottom line is make sure you're hydrating, make sure you wear your sunscreen, and make sure you find ways and have a plan to stay cool. And one of those plans could be to go see a movie because Despicable Me, what is it? Despicable Me 4, is it? Is it 4?
Four, yeah, the
Is
fourth one.
opening. And same with Maxine, if you're into horror films, there's Maxine that's opening today.
I don't know a thing about Maxine, but
I don't either,
it
but
sounds
it's opening, and I wanted to at least give them some cred. That's all. Make us feel
some
old,
cred.
Curt. Go ahead, do it.
Oh yeah, like we need any more things to make us feel old. But this just popped up. Apple, you've heard of the Apple Corp, right? Yeah. They are now listing their original AirPods. They've put it into their vintage category. The original AirPods are now considered a vintage product, and these are not the old ones with wires. The actual wireless AirPods that came out way back in September of 2016 are now considered
2016.
vintage. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Evidently, Apple considers a product to be vintage 5 years after they stopped selling it. So it's kind of just their own definition. But if you say
Okay.
to me, yeah, these wireless headphones are vintage, I'm like, man, I'm old.
I'm late on the uptake. I got my first pair of AirPods just like a couple months ago.
And guess what? You just bought some useless antiques.
No,
I'm kidding.
not the first generation of them, but okay. I cannot wait to talk about this because I always say this. I love it when you show up,
Hmm.
give us your feedback on the questions that we put out there. And yesterday we put out there, we want to know your unethical but wildly useful parenting hacks. It's something you do or say to your kids that might not necessarily be truth,
Right.
but it gets them to do what you need them to do.
They didn't used to call that unethical parenting hacks. That was just being a parent.
Right.
It's like get my kid to eat more food. Well, a couple of examples they were. And when we say unethical, this is not bad, illegal stuff,
Oh,
but
no,
like
no,
an
no.
example was, when the tell your kids when the ice cream truck plays music, that means it's out of ice cream.
Oh, that's so
Ooh,
mean. When your
that's kind of cold.
turns
Yeah.
purple, you are lying. So we can tell if
Your
you're
tongue
lying if
turns
your
purple
tongue
when you
because your
cry,
tongue will turn purple.
and we'll know. And they said, I like what they said, you just have to ask them, hey, are you telling the truth? And if they hesitate or they sort of close their mouth to hide their tongue, then they're probably lying, right?
Probably.
Right.
All right,
Anna, our friend
here's what people said.
yeah,
Go.
from she is from Polish with No Flaws Dog Training. Does a great job. Anna said she tells her they've got one son. All restaurants have a restaurant police. They watch all children through a hidden camera to see and check for good table manners.
Anna. I love Anna so much. She's awesome. Seriously, if you need a dog trainer, she's working with me and Pat with Snotty Sailor. She's awesome.
Yes.
She's great.
Uh, Debbie's suggestion, again, these are unethical in quotes, parenting hacks. Tell your kids when they try something new, say, hey, you remember you liked those last time you tried them, even if you
Danielle
tried them
said
before.
there is a camera in the heat vent watching you, so you better stay in bed. And Karen said that she told her kids that that security cameras and red light cameras were really Santa cams watching all the
So
time.
well, he knows when you're sleeping and he knows when you're awake. So he is
Right.
watching all the time. I like Tina's suggestion of a somewhat unethical but useful parenting hack. She said, we tried putting healthy yogurt in his favorite Yo Play container and told
Oh,
him the recipe changed and even had a friend act as the Yo Play representative that we called to tell him it was just a new recipe. That one, it turns out, Tina says, did not work. That did not
oh
work.
my gosh.
They don't want people
Jennifer fake cried. Carrie said
fake
this
crying.
wasn't
Mhm.
me, but my dad. He used to combine me and my sister's names. Her sister's name was Sarah, and so he didn't want to confuse the names ever and wanted to get both their attentions at once. So his little hack was just to combine their names and yell Sari. Her name was Carrie. Her sister's name was Sarah. So they would both answer.
Sari,
Yep.
everybody would come. Our friend Ina, she said, promise to buy him something. Now, is that only unethical if you don't buy them something after you promise?
I think maybe. Ina, did you, I'm and here's
Okay.
the thing, I bet Ina did buy her kid the thing.
She's just looking for an excuse to get something for her kid
Excuse me.
and hopefully be on the upside, on the winning side
A
of
Connie,
whatever
I
she
love
was
this
trying to get
one so
them to be.
much. Connie told her kids that the park was closed to get them to stop crying about when she couldn't take them to the park. The park's closed, we can't even go. And then she also told
Yeah.
them that their room was too messy for the tooth fairy to get in, and the tooth fairy would leave a note on their door if for some reason the tooth fairy forgot to grab the tooth. That was the thing, that your room was too messy, couldn't get to your tooth. That tooth fairy.
Tooth Fairy can't get through. What are you going to do, man?
Right.
They probably counter with, I thought the Tooth Fairy could fly. And it was just a little tooth fairy, like 3 inches high or whatever. It
Kurt,
worked, evidently.
Kurt loves music. He loves music a lot, and so he's put together a little list for you based on Billboard on the top songs for your
Yeah,
4th of
well,
July playlist. Kurt, what are they?
and as always with me, there's a caveat. I don't want to come off like a music snob by any stretch, but this is actually, you Google songs about America for your 4th of July playlist or whatever. And Billboard put together a pretty basic list. And it seems that what they did, but what Google did or Billboard did, was they just here's songs that have USA or the words America in the title. Okay. So, the point with this is, I'm going to read you some of these. All right. So you've got Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen, God Bless America by Kate Smith. Of course, that's a classic, right? This is America, Childish Gambino. Party in the USA from Miley Cyrus, American Boy, Estelle with Kanye West. They also on here, Surfing USA by the Beach Boys. We've got Living in America, James Brown, American Pie by Don McLean, or if you want the terrible version, by Madonna. Have you ever heard that, by the way? Madonna's version of American Pie?
No.
Not good. Point is, a lot of these are not patriotic songs at all. I mean, you've probably heard "Born in the USA" is not like all pro USA. I'm not saying it's not anti-American, but it's certainly not the rah 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 song I think you're looking for your 4th of July playlist. And "This Is America" by Childish Gambino is clearly not one of those either. And American Pie, if you listen to that song, a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is well, that's all about the crash that took Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper, and Richie Valens was on that. So the
So
point is, if you just type in Google songs about America for your 4th of July playlist, you may end up with these ones that are not really, I think, in the spirit of the 4th of July.
They make the list because the word America or USA is in the title, Curt. That's why. Let's
Yeah,
just pretend. Let's
because you
just
want to do
pretend
that.
they're patriotic. They're talking about the country. We'll just pretend.
Well, why don't they include Green Day, American Idiot? No, that won't be on there. Supertramp, Breakfast in America. The Clash had a song, I'm So Bored with the USA. Clearly not what you're looking for, but some of these other ones are disguised as patriotic songs. They may not be as patriotic as you think. That's all I'm saying. The good songs, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad playlist, right?
Well, I mean, I like all those songs, and I'll probably play them tomorrow. But I'll have you in the back of my head saying they're not really
Saying,
patriotic. They're not really great
yeah, you
ones.
Debbie Downers, like, go ahead and play that. But you know what they're really saying? Okay, I kind of regret this now. You play your favorite songs for your 4th of July playlist. And if they happen to have USA or America in the title, I guess that counts, right?
Yeah. All right. So some industry professionals got together to tell us some
Hmm.
secrets that we need to know. And we want to pass those along to you. I thought these were fantastic. Like, you
Yeah,
always,
and they're all over the place. So, I mean, this is like for a lot of different
all
industries, these
industries.
professionals are offering their tips. Yeah.
Yes. So this first one is from a finance person for car lots, specifically for car lots. He's like, you will almost always get a better rate or term on a car loan if you go directly to the finance company. So, like, if you go directly to the bank, if you get quotes from a
Mm.
dealer and take those quotes to lenders, you'll likely find a better deal. Um, Always bring your own financing to the car lot. Always, always.
Mm. Good idea. Yeah. How about the this is a fun little tip, I guess, as well. This is a quick way to get out of the automated phone systems to get to a real person. We've all been there before. And it happens almost every time you call, like if you want customer support or something, press 1 for this or whatnot. So what they're saying is the way to get through, if it's some kind of bill related thing, if you say the words past due when it says, what can I help you with today? You should say past due. If you're paying them, they definitely want to chat with you.
Right.
Okay. So
They
I
want to
guess what
take
they're
your
saying, if you
money.
say past due, they will get right to you. But I also find it's like you say past due, and it's like, I understand you want something that's past due. Is it more than 10 days past due? 20 days past due? There's always something else, isn't there?
They always
Uh,
find something to keep you in that automated circle.
Another person said if you throw a few F bombs in the short amount of time that you're on, they're asking what the problem is. The system will likely recognize you as a disgruntled customer and get you to a live customer service rep. I don't know about that. I would say if I drop some F bombs, they're going to say, okay, we're going to talk to you in as long a time as we can. You
You mean
angry
keep you in the
man.
keep you if you well, yeah, who knows? Who knows if they will
Yeah.
work, but it's worth trying. I'm going to try the F-bomb trick.
All right. How about the one? I like the one you found here. That was you can rent a nice casket for the funeral and be buried in a cheaper one.
I mean, that's crazy.
Casket rental places.
Who knew?
There's your business idea, Jen.
From someone who works in the floral industry, and I actually knew about this. Don't call a large national florist. Look for your local florist
Mhm. Mhm.
and in the recipients area. So like if I'm going to send flowers to my friend Carrie in Texas, I always look for a local florist there that can help me because they're going to give you a better deal, they're going to give you better customer service, like
Mhm.
all the things are better. They'll have examples of flowers that you can look at, and then they'll put together something nice for you, and you're going to save on those national delivery fees. Plus you're supporting a local business, which I love a lot.
It's a plus plus, a win-win. I didn't know this. I kind of did, but now it's written here in front of me. Hotel prices are negotiable. If you go to a hotel and show them a booking.com or Expedia price for their location that's lower, they can price match. How
Well,
about that?
here's the thing. I've always heard that it's better to book directly through the hotel. So knowing that they can price match,
Hmm.
they can just do more for you because they don't control once you book through a third party, they can't control that
Yeah.
reservation at all. Like
Right.
that's
So,
someone else's reservation that you've made through that third party. So they can just do more for you. They can give you an upgrade easier, they can match prices, they can just help you all around if you book directly through the hotel. And Curt, I want to mention this one more thing because this is
yeah, that's a good
actually
one.
something that you taught me. And that is on you'll have to explain it. On Amazon, it especially works with tech, like tech stuff. Like you go to buy something on Amazon and you want to save a little money on it. There's this, and now I'm going to give this all away so it won't be the little secret.
What, the
Uh,
Amazon warehouse stuff?
yes, tell people
Although
about that.
I think they're calling it Amazon re something anyway, resale now. Yeah, it's if you go, you're looking for whatever you're looking for. Like when we got that, so we got a mic, a podcasting mic for Jen. You
This.
go to the thing, and yeah, it's what you, it's the one that you want, and it's got, you can say buy used. Price is starting at, like, say that was $100 mic, and it's like you can buy used starting at $79 or whatever. And you click on that, and it'll have the condition of the thing. And often it's just returns, you know what I mean? So somebody got it. I don't know if it was buyer's remorse or whatnot, but it came back. So I mean, yeah, that's a good way to save money. The previous year's model in a lot of these things. So if you are, say, getting instead of the brand new this year's model, they've got that microphone from, well, that's the 2022 version. It's like almost nearly the identical specifications often, but it's a significant lower price. So if you can find last year's model, or if you want to use the Amazon warehouse type of thing, yeah, and sometimes it's a substantial savings,
Yeah, and they're not selling something here. I'm just gonna say this.
Please.
Sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. I bought those AirPods that I was talking about that I just bought a couple months ago. I bought
Right.
them that way. They were perfect, and they even have a little card in there saying how they care for um products that maybe have been returned. They do all the tests to make sure they work. They clean, like they're like new. They were like brand new. Um, but I did that same trick when I ordered this cast iron griddle for Pat's new Blackstone thing. We have like the side burner and we wanted a griddle
Right.
for it. And
Right.
I used that little trick. That didn't work so well. That was not good.
And that's the thing. If it's something that you really, really is like, I really want to have this exact version of this thing, then yeah, go ahead, and you're going to probably have to pay the full price, brand new price on that. And sometimes, like it'll say condition good or condition acceptable. And then you're
You get to
rolling the
decide.
dice there. And yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you get, you're like, no, this is no bueno.
You
But
get
they're
to
free returns.
Yeah, I was just going to say you get to decide whether you want to do that, and if it's not great, you can still return it.
Yeah.
That's the other great thing. All right. Since 4th of July is tomorrow, let's talk about cookouts.
Well, there is a report. I would not come up with this on my own. There is a new report, and it's saying the most important part of Independence Day celebrations is, dramatic pause, corn.
Come on.
This new report, and with the report, but see, based on this is from Instacart, so they know what they're talking about. Instacart released some data on what America is ordering for their July 4th gatherings and cookout, and the demand for yellow corn is up 380% compared to the yearly average. So
And
for
I
some
would
year,
I
this
would
year,
stop you right there, Curt, because yellow corn, white corn is far superior, or the mixed one, the kind of the hybrid corn.
far superior. I didn't know there was a soapbox that went along with this one, but you are up on it, and that is fine. The white corn. I just, you know what? Often you find people just on the side of the road with a little tent up there saying, sweet corns. Like that's sometimes good stuff to get as well. However, this thing saying that the corn is the most important part of Fourth of July celebrations, it's based on how much people are ordering of this yellow corn. But 380% compared to the average, I don't know. Maybe it is something for this year.
That's mega. That's mega for sure. What are some of the other things?
And this is kind of in order of July 4th. The other products that surge the most over the 4th of July weekend: charcoal, that makes sense, potato salad, baby back ribs.
Baby back
Then
ribs.
you've got buns, your hot dog and hamburger buns, canned baked beans rather, is a product that surges in July 4th weekend. Bratwurst, frozen beef burgers, watermelons, and beef patties. That's the final of the top 10 there.
You know, in this motorhome that I am in at this right at this moment, I have, let's see, I have potato salad in here, hot
Mm-hmm.
dog and hamburger buns, baked beans, bratwurst, frozen burgers, and watermelon. So I have most of that in this vehicle right now.
Do you feel that you're good to go then?
I'm pretty good to go. I need to get the corn though. We went to the grocery store to get corn, sold out.
Sold out. Well, see, there you go.
Sold out. Could
That's
not get
because the
corn.
demand for corn is that high.
Is what?
Well, the demand for corn is that high. That's what we
Yeah,
were just talking about.
yeah,
So
it
now,
is.
on the same, you know, subject of food for your 4th of July, we all know that hot dogs are not the world's healthiest food. That goes without saying. However, you still want to have your dogs and your burgers on 4th of July. So
What's
there
a
are
cookout without a hot dog? That's what I
exactly,
say.
exactly. So these are some things that you found, Jen, on how to get I mean, yes, you're going to be quote unquote bad with your eating perhaps this weekend, but there are ways to make it healthier. How's that?
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to eat a hot dog, you're not putting the best things in your body. It's
Right.
just how it goes. It's
Yep.
just how hot dogs are made. But so there's some health experts that are saying, listen, there are healthier ways to consume a hot dog. You want to avoid the traditional ballpark labeled hot dogs, like traditional hot dog or ballpark labeled hot dogs. They just
Right.
have a ton of sodium. They're like ultra processed, so many additives and preservatives. So you can maybe go to one that's all meat.
Right. I
Uh,
imagine that'd be like Hebrew National. Wouldn't that be because they're kosher? I imagine that might be a good way to go.
yeah, like you look for them not to be so processed. So like you could look for the organic stuff. You could look for the sodium is a big one, like having lower sodium in
Mhm.
the dog. Here's the thing. The all processed, the ultra processed meats are a huge health risk,
Right.
period. Like you just shouldn't be putting them in your body. I know people do, and people live to be 100 because they're well preserved. I mean, like let's eat the processed meat and the Twinkies, and we'll preserving our body by doing it. No, no.
That's how I live to be 100 is by eating Twinkies. I like
I'm
that.
just kidding. No,
That's
this
what
is
Jen
just me.
Pierak just saw. You heard that. Jen Pierak says, eat Twinkies. You'll live to be 100.
Oh, well,
One
I
last thing
think that
about the
works
hot
for
dogs.
some people.
One last thing about the hot dogs. They asked Americans what makes for the perfect hot dog, and what came back was that it's grilled. It comes on a white bun and
Yep.
has some combination of these 5 toppings: ketchup, mustard, relish, onions, and chili. But they said, well, what if you can only have one topping? Okay, there's the 5: ketchup, mustard, relish, onions, and chili. They were asked, you can only have one of those toppings. Do you know what it would be, Jen?
What?
Apparently, mustard is the big one.
Yeah, I would guess that.
Yeah,
Better than
even over
ketchup,
ketchup.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So that if you can only have one on your hot dog, mustard apparently is the way to go.
That list is missing, um,
What?
I think it's missing cheese
Mm-hmm.
and it's missing sauerkraut.
Oh,
And if you're gonna put onions on it, I feel like they need to be like caramelized onions.
right. And well, you know what else is not on there? The Seattle dog has the
Cream
cream
cheese.
cheese, which I would say
Right.
that's so awesome. If you've never had it, try some cream cheese on your hot dog next time. It may not be life changing. Okay, it's going to be life changing. Yeah.
Before we wrap up our whole podcast, and we've been talking a lot about 4th of July,
Right.
um, it's Independence Day, and I think that we just need to remember and be patriotic. I mean, we live in a even though there's a lot of messed up things, there's good and bad everywhere, but we live in a pretty great country where we have the freedom to do so many things. So let's just remember that. And maybe, I know there's other holidays to honor vets and people that serve, but people have fought for our freedom and our independence. And we get to live a pretty good life in this country.
Absolutely.
So
Without question. I'm glad you brought that up. And I actually, this is not to add to that. I just realized that I have some information, something that happened yesterday, that if I don't share it today, Jen, you're going to be like, why didn't you say something?
share, tell me.
The Seattle Kraken announced their schedule for the 2024-25 season yesterday. So,
How do you
so
like
exciting.
how do you like the schedule? Is it pretty good?
Yeah, it's not too tough of a run at the beginning. First home game. Well, I think there's 6 or 8 preseason games. Looks like at least 6. And then the first official home game or beginning of the season is against St. Louis on October 8th. So
Kurt
that's what it starts.
Kurt cares a lot about this because he has really awesome season tickets, awesome seats, season tickets. Kurt loves a Kraken. And if you've noticed and watched this podcast, he wears Kraken gear every freaking day.
Okay, on occasion. Okay, every day. You're right.
All right, on Monday, we want your feedback. We want you to show up for this. What were you never allowed to have or do as a kid?
Right. And
I
I
have to
we
think
were
about
thinking about
this.
yeah, it came up because we were discussing, fireworks and, where do you draw the line with kids? Of course, depending on their age. You have sparklers, you can do the little snakes or whatever the case may be. But as they get older, they want to have some more, maybe some more, I don't want to say high quality fireworks. But the thing was, when I was a kid, it was very limited what we were allowed to do as far as fireworks went. So
Well,
that spawned
we
this.
we just want to know what childhood trauma your parents created by not letting you do or have something. Okay? Tell us
Oh
about it.
man,
We're going to put it on Facebook. In the meantime, we just like we are so grateful that you are listening to us, that you're letting us be part of your day.
thank
We
you
want
very
you to
much for
have
that. Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, Curt.
I was going, well, yeah, man, that's, we are extremely grateful for that. You know, we enjoy doing this every morning and well, whenever you listen to it throughout the day, but we appreciate you tuning in and do your best to have the best 4th of July weekend ever, right?
Yep. Stay safe. Happy memory making. We'll be back on Monday, like we said. And in the meantime, make really good choices. There's some bad choices you can make over this holiday weekend, this stretch of great weather that we're having. So try to make those good choices. Find the joy that's going to be all around you this weekend and definitely spread kindness. Have a good one.